Hi guys, and welcome back. We've had a few comments asking us to give our opinion on the new M8 that should be coming out next year. So we like to give you what you want, so here it is. So the M6 first came out, you could say, when the E24 M635i CSI was around. Now that was the coupe version of the E28 M5, and it was designed to be the sleeker, sort of more sporty version of that car. Now that car also came with the legendary engine from the M1, which was to date BMW's only sports car. The next two generations of M5, the E34 and the E39 M5, unfortunately didn't come with a coupe, and that was addressed when the E60 M5 came out. So if you didn't want a taxi-bodied V10 engine, you had the M6. Now that car was slightly awkward in its design. I personally didn't like it. I preferred the four-door, and we actually owned one from 2011 and 2014, and you can see a video of that car over here. Matt puts a placard up, or if that doesn't come up, you can just search X-Car Evolve M5 in YouTube and the video will come up. Now when the F10 M5 came around, you had obviously the F13 M6. Now the car shared the same drivetrain, but it was a coupe shape and it was actually really well proportioned. But what also BMW did was introduce a four-door version of the M6, which was the M6 Gran Coupe. Now in my eyes, the M6 Gran Coupe is probably one of BMW's most beautiful designs. And even if you don't need the four doors, I would personally pick the M6 GC over the F10 M5. That leads us to the current day. The F90 M5 was released earlier this year, and there will be a coupe version of that car, but BMW have said that the M6 is dead. Sad news. Well, not really, because the new version will be the M8. Now, they teased this with a concept car at Geneva, which was dubbed the M8 Gran Coupe. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the car is absolutely stunning. It was finished in a really striking green color, and it had gold accents everywhere. The car almost looked like it was aftermarket. Now I had a chance to see this car in person at Goodwood, and it did not disappoint. The car is absolutely stunning. The level of detail on this car, it just takes you ages to walk around and absorb everything. The paint work on the car, the green paint almost has like a gold fleck in it, so depending on how you see it in the light, it changes color. And it's the same with the gold accents. They're almost brushed, so depending on where the light hits the car, the gold kind of fades from bronze into gold, and it just looks absolutely amazing. But what does this mean for the actually soon to be released F92 M8? Well, we already know what the 8 Series looks like, and we know that the F90 M5 drivetrain will be borrowed by the M8, so we can actually have a very good idea of what this car looks like. Now the 8 Series at the moment, even in M Sport guys, it looks slightly awkward with its design features, but I expect the M version to have slightly deeper bumpers and slightly cleaner lines. I hope BMW actually do that. So I think that we're onto a really good car with the M8. We can see what the M8 would probably look like in the renders from a guy called Paul Bracq. We'll put those in the video now so you can have a look at them. As you can see, he's taken the 8 Series and he's shown you what the M version of this would look like in various color configurations. I think that the M8 and the M8 GC will be absolutely stunning cars, and I really look forward to having a go in one. Tuning wise, we expect everything from the F90 M5 to carry over to the M8. Remember the days when life was simple and BMW only had 3 Series, 5 Series, 6 Series and 7 Series? And when the designation at the end of those numbers normally meant the engine size. Well, those days are over. With the proliferation of models and BMW expanding into SUVs and hybrid cars and electric cars, that range has expanded so much that even as a BMW geek myself, I find it really difficult to keep up with all the names. Now that brings me to the new one. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I'll try and remember it. So it's the X2 M35i. Is that right, Matt? Okay, so this is a new mini SUV from BMW, and with that name you'd expect the car to have a 3-litre engine, right? No, you'd be wrong. It actually has a 2-litre engine, which is the same engine that's used in the Mini and the 2 Series Active Tourer, the 225i and the 730i, so that's the B48. In the Mini, that engine produces around 192 horsepower, in the JCW a little bit more at 210, and in the 730i it actually makes 245. In the new X2 M35i, it's actually making 302 horsepower and around 332 bhp. Now that's enough power to propel that small SUV 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. I think you'll probably agree that's pretty impressive. In M Sport guys, at least, the car looks really impressive. The design's well proportioned and the interior is as good looking as the exterior, which for BMW is quite a rare thing, and it's becoming more common now because Audi, I think, have been well ahead in terms of the interior design. But on this design, from the renders at least, it does look really good. So I think this car is going to be an important model for BMW, and I can see it being very, very popular. So last week we covered the X3M and the X4M. Since then we've had a small update to say that that car will also have the same xDrive that the F92 M8 has. Whether or not that will be switchable remains to be seen, but can you imagine driving that in rear-wheel drive? I think it'll be a hell of a lot of fun. Also, BMW have released something called Bmw Assistant, which I think is going to be something like Google Assist and Siri for the iPhone. What do you guys think of that? Is that something you'd use in the car? Do you think you'd find it useful, or would you stick to using your phone's assistant? So that's the news for this week. As always, guys, if you have any comments or anything you want us to cover in future episodes, please let us know in the comments and we'll do our best to accommodate you. So that's the news. If you want to watch more BMW related news, you can watch that over here. If you'd like to watch something YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. Now, if you did like the video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you've got any questions, you can put those in the comments for us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.